President Donald Trump ordered federal immigration agents to major U.S. airports on Sunday to assist with security amid the ongoing budget impasse. The deployment, set to begin Monday, aims to support Transportation Security Administration (TSA) operations strained by unpaid workers. The move has raised concerns about potential tensions among travelers and staff. TSA agents have been working without pay during the partial government shutdown, leading to long wait times and frustrations at airports. Democrats demand changes to federal immigration operations before agreeing to fund the Department of Homeland Security (DS). Senator Lisa Murkowski criticized the plan, saying it may exacerbate tensions rather than solve the current issues. White House border czar Tom Homan stated that ICE officers will be deployed to large airports with long wait times, but did not disclose specific locations or numbers of agents for security reasons. The deployment is intended to relieve pressure on TSA and maintain airport security. As budget talks continue, the implications of this action could escalate political tensions and impact air travel for passengers. The unresolved question remains how effectively this deployment will address the current challenges faced by TSA and whether it will help resolve the budget impasse. The Guthrie family is asking the public for renewed help in locating Nancy Guthrie, who was reported missing from her home in Tucson, Arizona, 7 weeks ago on February 1st. Police believe Nancy was abducted, but no suspect has been identified despite surveillance footage and DNA evidence. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have been actively seeking information through social media and local media outlets. They have offered a $1 million reward for any information leading to their mother's safe return. Family's renewed appeal comes as the case has garnered national attention, with involvement from the FBI and local law enforcement. Family emphasizes the importance of every detail in solving this case, urging anyone with potential clues to come forward. They remain hopeful that the community will provide the key to finding Nancy Guthrie. Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin testified today at his confirmation hearing to become the new Homeland Security Secretary. The hearing focused on key issues such as ICE operations and the impact of the partial government shutdown on the department and its employees. Mullin addressed criticism of ICE and the shutdown that has left the department without funding for 5 weeks. He also acknowledged regret for past comments on the Alex Preddy incident, but declined to apologize until the investigation is complete. During the hearing, Mullin faced questions on the use of judicial warrants by ICE agents and the consultation process for building ICE detention facilities. Democrats pressed Mullin on these topics, while Republicans emphasized the shutdown's impact on essential workers like TSA staff, more than 300 of whom have quit since it began. The confirmation hearing highlights the ongoing political dynamic surrounding immigration policy and the functioning of federal agencies. Despite criticisms, Senator John Fetterman's backing suggests there may be enough votes to advance Mullin's nomination to a full Senate vote. President Donald Trump's tax cut legislation was designed to boost the U.S. economy with larger tax refunds for Americans. However, surging gas prices are starting to erode the benefits of those refunds. Since the start of the Iran war in February, gas prices have risen sharply, reaching an average of $3.94 per gallon on March 19th, up from $2.87 just a month earlier. Economists predict that gas prices could peak at $4.36 per gallon in May before gradually declining for the rest of the year. This increase is likely to slow economic growth as consumers redirect more of their income towards fuel costs. This reduces spending on other goods and services. Lower-income households are expected to face the greatest impact, as they typically receive smaller tax refunds while allocating a larger portion of their earnings to gas expenses. This dynamic could exacerbate existing economic inequalities, with higher-income households being less affected by the price surge. The immediate challenge for consumers is to manage rising fuel costs, which could lead to a decrease in overall discretionary spending. Economists caution that the recovery from the economic shock will take time, even if the war with Iran ends soon. With gas prices expected to remain elevated, the economic outlook for the year is now less optimistic, with growth projections revised downward due to the impact of higher fuel costs on consumer spending. Negotiations between the 7 U.S. states in the Colorado River Basin have stalled, missing a federal government-imposed deadline. The river provides water, energy, and agriculture for nearly 40 million people and supports a $1.4 trillion economy. Experts suggest using negotiation facilitators to help states reach a compromise amid complex hydrological and political challenges. Previous agreements in the 2000s, 2007, and 2019 show compromise is possible, but the current situation is more complex and polarized. Federal leadership has been lacking, with federal officials not providing clear consequences for inaction or guidance on managing the conflict. The states are divided into upper basin and lower basin groups, each with strong positions and different data sets, hindering progress. A third-party facilitator could help manage the conflicts over values, data, and relationships, potentially leading to a consensus. Without a solution, federal intervention could occur, leading to further complications and litigation. The Supreme Court is set to hear arguments on Monday regarding whether states can count mail ballots received after Election Day. The case involves 14 states with grace periods, which could impact voter turnout and election integrity for the upcoming midterms. Voting rights groups argue that eliminating grace periods would disenfranchise voters and create confusion. Republican plaintiffs contend that grace periods undermine election integrity, citing federal election day statutes that envision a single day for casting ballots. Local election officials from Washington state note that 127,000 ballots were received after Election Day in 2024. This suggests that voters could face ballot rejection if grace periods are ruled unconstitutional. This could affect voter confidence and turnout in states like Mississippi, which has a 5-day grace period for mail ballots. The decision could have broader implications, impacting the debate on election integrity and voter access across the country. With the midterms just months away, states may need to quickly adjust voting procedures if the court rules against grace periods. Hawaii Governor Josh Green has announced that recent severe storms have caused more than $1 billion in damages across the state. The storms, which began on March 22, 2026, have led to extensive flooding and property damage, particularly on the islands of Oahu and Maui. Over 230 people had to be rescued during the crisis, but no fatalities have been reported so far. The flooding has been described as the worst since 2004, with some areas receiving up to 50 inches of rain. This unprecedented weather event has put significant pressure on local infrastructure and coastal communities. The Hawaii National Guard has been deployed to assist with rescue operations and to monitor critical infrastructure, such as the 120-year-old Waihawa Dam. Officials remain vigilant about the possibility of further flooding and have advised residents to avoid driving through standing water. With the economic impact already substantial, the White House has expressed support for Hawaii's efforts and is in communication with state officials to coordinate federal assistance. The full extent of the damage and costs is still being assessed. Residents are urged to stay informed and cautious as the situation continues to unfold. President Trump has issued a series of conflicting statements regarding the ongoing conflict with Iran over the past week. His messaging has varied across different platforms, including press conferences and social media, highlighting a shift in strategic considerations. The president's statements have oscillated between a more aggressive stance and a cautious approach, complicating the interpretation of U.S. policy towards Iran. This pattern of inconsistent communication has been observed throughout the conflict. This raises questions among observers and stakeholders about the direction of U.S. foreign policy. The mixed messaging has the potential to impact diplomatic efforts and military strategies, as it may confuse allies and adversaries alike. President Trump's statements reflect the complex decision-making process involved in managing a military conflict and the strategic nuances at play. With the conflict continuing, the uncertainty around U.S. policy persists, leaving both domestic and international audiences to interpret the true intentions behind the president's statements. NASA, a space launch system. SLS and Orion spacecraft have been rolled out to Pad 39 billion at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. This marks the second time the rocket and spacecraft have been moved to the launch pad in preparation for the Artemis 2 mission. This aims to send astronauts around the moon for the first time in over 50 years. The 98-meter-tall SLS completed a 4-mile journey from its assembly building to the launch pad. This significant milestone is a crucial step in NASA's Artemis program, which seeks to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon. The rollout of the SLS and Orion spacecraft represents a major advancement in space exploration. This underscores the technical and logistical challenges involved in preparing for a mission that hasn't been attempted since the Apollo era. With this move, NASA is a step closer to achieving its goal of returning humans to the moon and beyond. Jessie Holmes secured his second straight win in the grueling Iditarod trail sled dog race on March 18, completing the 1,000-mile trek to Nome in 9 days, 7 hours, and 32 minutes. His victory marks a significant achievement for this seasoned musher, who has now claimed top honors in the race twice. Holmes' impressive victory wasn't just about crossing the finish line first. He also swept all special awards and collected additional cash and gold nuggets. This brings his total prize money to $80,550. This includes $4,500 in gold. His dedication to the sport since 2018, when he made his debut, is evident in his 5 top 10 finishes. This highlights his consistent performance and determination. The Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race, a challenging annual event in Alaska, tests the endurance and skill of mushers and their teams of dogs. Jessie Holmes' repeated success underscores his mastery of the race and solidifies his reputation as one of the sport's premier competitors. Actor and martial artist Chuck Norris passed away on March 20, 2026, leaving behind a legacy that has transcended his film career through the enduring cultural impact of internet memes. Norris, known for his tough guy persona in films like Walker, Texas Ranger, has become a figure more recognized through memes than his acting roles for many younger generations. The Chuck Norris meme phenomenon began in the early 2000s on message boards, gaining traction on social media platforms in the 2010s. These jokes, often depicting Norris as superhuman, have continued to be shared widely, even among those unfamiliar with his filmography. A Facebook page dedicated to Chuck Norris jokes, Chuck Jokes, boasts 279,000 followers, showcasing the ongoing relevance of these humorous creations. Despite the memes outliving Norris's film career, they highlight the enduring cultural impact of internet humor. These jokes have shaped the perception of Norris for younger audiences, who often know him primarily through his meme persona rather than his iconic roles. This phenomenon underscores how internet culture can perpetuate and transform the legacy of public figures long after their peak in traditional media.